Wow guys, Oshi no Ko used to be one of my favorite mangas of all time, but after that ending, there is no way. If you have read Oshi no Ko, you probably know what I'm talking about, but if you haven't read Oshi no Ko yet, if you've only watched the anime or only have heard of it or whatever, don't watch this video because it will have major spoilers in it. And I don't want to ruin it for you because it is a really good manga, but it's definitely not one of the best after that ending, because of course endings don't evaluate the whole thing, but to me, endings can knock off quite a few points, and that's what it did with Oshi no Ko. So yeah, if you haven't read Oshi no Ko yet, the manga, then go ahead and skip out on this video until you've finished it, okay? Or if you just don't care about spoilers, you can go ahead and continue. Yeah, 90% of the manga is really good. It's just that last 10% that is just kind of not great. And that is what we're going to be talking about in this video. So the whole writing of the ending is just a complete mess. And I did hear that that was because the writer of Oshi no Ko actually got bored of writing it. So he just rushed everything and kind of ruined the whole manga. But yeah, I have heard that, and it does make sense because a lot of the writing is just very all over the place and very rushed. And I did hear that he did also do this with one of his other manga called Love is War or Kaguya-sama. And that is also one of my favorite animes, so I'm very worried about go ahead and reading that manga because I have not reached the end of that yet. I have started the manga, but I have not reached anywhere near the end, so I'm very worried about that. It does kind of make me not want to read it. But yeah, I probably will still go ahead and finish that manga, but I am very worried. But yeah, this video is about Oshi no Ko. So yeah, the writer did also state that he is going to be writing another manga after this one, which is why he kind of wanted to rush the end of this one. So I am not very excited for that next manga since the last two have had a very rushed endings whenever he gets bored with them. So I'm either hoping that either he just learns how to make a good ending if that's what he's struggling with, but if it really is his boredom, he really needs to just finish the manga before he gets bored. That is really all he needs to do. So yeah, if he's able to finish the manga before he gets bored, I'm sure he could make a masterpiece. Because there is a lot of really good writing in both Oshi no Ko and Kaguya-sama. He is a great writer, Aqua. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but his name is like AKA. So I think it's pronounced like Aqua or Aka or something like that. But I'm going to say Aqua in this video. So yeah, he is a great writer. He can write a good story. He just has a serious problem with getting bored before it ends. At least I hope that's what the problem is, because it does really seem like he can write. A lot of Oshi no Ko is great, and the writing is incredible. There are some problems that I'll go over later on with like characters not being fully developed, stuff like that. But overall, it is still a very well-written story, and you can tell that he put a lot into it, which is why it is so sad that the ending is just really bad. But yeah, I guess he just got bored. But yeah, going into the ending, if you haven't clicked off yet, big spoilers. Go and click off right now. Hurry up and click off. But yeah, Aqua's death is very out of character for him. I mean, he really just left his sister in order to kill the main villain, his father. But there was no world where I thought that that was going to be the ending. It seemed like Aqua really cared for his sister and that he would never ever do that. And it also seemed like they were trying to write him up to be like this 10,000 IQ character, and then the best thing he could come up with is killing himself with the enemy. But yeah, that is just absolutely crazy to me that he couldn't think of anything better to do, and he really just left his sister all alone after her mother already died. Like, that is absolutely insane to me. Like, even Light from Death Note had a better plan than Aqua, and Light did not have the greatest plan in the world. And that whole ending was a whole different story. That wasn't a great ending either. But this one was even worse. So yeah, I'm extremely disappointed with that ending. And then get this, Aqua dying isn't even the worst part. To top it all off, in the absolute final chapter, in the actual final chapter, the Aqua death actually happened in the second to last chapter, I believe. But yeah, in the final chapter, they like turn it into a happy ending, which was so strange to me. Like, that is whack. They just kill off the main character and then they're like, oh, and then they went on to live happy lives. And it wasn't only the ending that kind of felt rushed. The whole manga just felt like it ended way too soon. There were a lot of characters that just were super underdeveloped. Even like main characters, I would call them main characters, like Kana. She just was very underdeveloped and her character just didn't really get much time to grow and change. It seemed like they really wanted her to grow and change, but the writer just didn't really do it. And I did hear, I'm not sure if this is true at all, but I heard that Aqua actually didn't like Kana, so he just decided not to really develop her too much. I'm not sure if that's completely true, but if that is kind of just hilarious to me. But at the same time, I guess that's fine. I mean, in Attack on Titan, I know the writer really liked Reiner, so he just never killed him. So, and I did like that in that book, or manga. Attack on Titan is actually my favorite anime of all time. So yeah, I did really like that. But honestly, I didn't really see Kana getting like barely any development at all, and she really needed it. Even Ruby, which I would see as one of the main characters, the second main character, had like no development at all. I feel like they focused way too much on Aqua, and then at the end they were just like, actually, you know what, let's just kill him off. Let's make it like super cool, we'll kill him off, and it'll shock everyone. But honestly, I didn't really think it was that good at all. I'm all for like characters dying. Like I said, Attack on Titan is my favorite, but that just felt very random, very like shoved in last minute and very rushed. Which, yeah, I guess the writer got bored of the story, so that does make a lot of sense. So yeah, Aqua really needs to learn how to actually write stories and finish them before he gets bored, because he does seem to get bored quite often, since it's happened with 2 of his manga. And both of the endings were apparently, I'm just saying apparently because I haven't actually read the ending of Kaguya-sama, but I have heard it is very bad, and I have read Oshi no Ko's, and that one was not the greatest. So yeah, if he can learn how to write an ending, actually I don't think it's really that he needs to learn how to write an ending, because I do think he can do it. He just needs to learn how to finish a manga before he gets bored, because that could be a masterpiece. If he learns how to do that, he could be like one of the greatest writers in the world, and he could write one of the greatest manga ever created. So yeah, I really want to see that with his next manga, but don't really expect that. Go into the next one if you're going to read it. I completely understand if you don't want to read it after Oshi no Ko. But yeah, if you go into it thinking that it's going to have a bad ending again, you'll be either pleasantly surprised or it won't really matter to you. So yeah, just go into it thinking that it will have another bad ending. But yeah, if you guys actually enjoyed the Oshi no Ko ending or the Kaguya-sama ending, let me know down in the comments. I personally, if you couldn't tell by this video, did not like the Oshi no Ko ending at all. But I will read Kaguya-sama and I'll kind of get my own opinions on that one. I did go into this Oshi no Ko ending expecting something kind of controversial, since I did see that people didn't really like it. But as I said earlier, Attack on Titan is one of my favorites. People do not like that ending at all. But I personally didn't think it was bad at all. I actually really liked it. So I did go into Oshi no Ko with the same mindset, thinking that people were just overreacting or something like that. But man, they were not overreacting. Go and read it yourself though. Get your own opinions. Don't take my opinion and just make it your own. Get your own opinions and let me know down in the comments what you guys think of the Oshi no Ko ending. Oshi no Ko is of course still an amazing manga. I did still give it like an 8 out of 10 on my Annie list. It did go from a 10 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10, so keep that in mind. But it is still a really good manga. 8 out of 10 is a great score. So yeah, it is still a really good manga, and I do still highly recommend it. If you're a beginner manga reader, it is a great one to start out with as well. It is kind of a tragedy, so keep that in mind. And of course, the main character kind of just dies. But if you don't care about that and you want to go and read it, and you might get something out of it, you might think it's good. If you haven't read it somehow and for some reason you're still watching the video. But yeah, if you have read it, let me know down in the comments if you guys think it is any good. If you guys think the ending was good or not. Because I do really want to hear your opinions. But yeah, mine is that it was not very good. If you like this video, go and drop it a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And if you didn't like it, dislike it and don't subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.